I'm going to share a little story with you about believing in yourself. So, I was on this bike ride, 5 years ago, right before COVID, 5.5 years ago. It's about 30 of us. We were coming the last 6-7 miles of the ride, going around a reservoir. This guy had been racing, this younger guy, about 25. I think at the time I was 43, 44. Just turned 50. Last month. 50 years around the sun. 50 times. So, let me cover this up. It's getting a little cold. My nostrils are getting a little frozen. So, basically, I try to speak up. He was telling me that he was doing really well in his races and he would hit a technical point and get dropped by the lead group. And now he was talking, and then he's like, he'd try to catch back up. Sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. And then he just gave up. He's like, I wasn't really tired. It was just people were passing me left and right. I think I was going a little too hard at the beginning. And I said, I think maybe it's about your belief, more mental than anything. You're pretty fit. Tall guy, lean. So we were riding, right? About 45 minutes later, we were 6 miles from the finish. And I was at the lead for about 8-9 minutes into a slight headwind. I felt good that day. And so he was the third guy. There's just 3 of us. We dropped the whole group. We're going pretty good. And all of a sudden we come into this half-a-mile climb. It's kind of steep, like 8-9%. Parts of it. Average grade's about 5 or 6. So we come into this climb, and I've been at the front for 6-7 minutes. And they thought the pace was not high enough. Well, they never came around me till hit that hill. So he comes around me, just attacks out of the saddle. Same thing with the other guy. He tries to follow him. I know this climb is about 3 minutes long, right? 3-4 minutes long. So I settle in. I don't panic. I feel pretty good. I know he keeps looking back. At one point, he's like 15 yards ahead of me, right? So I slowly catch up to him. I'm past the other guy. Now there's like 100 yards to go. I think he thinks he has it. Mentally, I'm like, I'm not giving up. So I pass him, 30 yards to go. So I slow down, cool down. He catches up to me about half a mile later. That's pretty much the ride. He's like, how did you catch up to me? You were out front for so long. And I put a bad tack in. I said, you repeated the same mistakes you do in the race. You went too hard, too fast, right? You gotta save the best for last. Just like in a race. As I was catching up to you, you started giving up. I didn't. So that's what you need to take into the races. Don't give up. Build that mental fortitude. You're already fit enough to be in the top 10, 15 out of 50. Why are you finished in the bottom 20, right? So, looks like I went one road too far. So here we go. It's all about believing in yourself, even when you fail. Edison failed to create the light bulb, right? He failed. He just figured out 1,900 ways. That's how many times he failed before he created it. He said, I figured 1,900 ways on not how to make a light bulb. You have to change your perspective. He was willing to succeed and never give up. That's what this gentleman needs to do. I'm sure he got better, hopefully, after that. But believing in yourself, pacing yourself, You have to, everything you do, your communication, your racing, your relationships, you have to become more of an adult, take responsibility. You don't act like a child where you're just trying to impress people with this big attack, right? We've all done that. He should have attacked pretty hard and then got into a pace. But he kept looking at me and seemed me coming closer and got us saddled harder and harder. If he would have just went into a normal pace, he would have beaten me by 5 or 10 seconds. But he went too hard. Well, maybe he would beat me, but a good chance he would have. He was quite a ways ahead of me. Believing in yourself, pacing yourself, being patient, patience and compassion with yourself. You can go anywhere with that. God bless. Take care. Have a wonderful life.